In this video we're going to consider increasing and decreasing functions. So a function is increasing where it has a positive gradient and decreasing where it has a negative gradient. So the first thing I'm going to do with this question is I'm going to evaluate the gradient as an expression. So I'm going to find the gradient function which we denote f-x. So I'm going to differentiate this term by term. So that's 6x squared subtract 8x add 2. Now I'm interested where this is greater than 0 because I'm looking for an increasing function. So I can divide that through by 2. And then I'm going to try and factorise this. So I'm going to multiply the number and the coefficient of x squared, and so I want two numbers that add to make 3 and they're going to times to make the bit in the middle, which is negative 4. So what two numbers could I use? Well, they need to multiply to make a positive but add to make a negative, so they must both be negative, so it's negative 1 and negative 3. So I'm going to write this as 3x squared subtract x subtract 3x add 1. I'm going to look at the first bit and I'm going to factorise that. So x is a common factor, 3x minus 1 goes there. Then I'm going to look at the second bit and I've just got, well, if I use 1 as a factor, then I get 3x subtract 1 there. So then that factorises to 3x minus 1 and x minus 1. So then I'm going to find my critical values here, which is going to occur at x is a third and x is 1. So that's making either of these two brackets 0, and then I'm going to do a sketch. So at a third and at 1, and this is a sketch of the gradient function, so of 3x squared minus 4x plus 1. And I need to know where this is greater than 0, so that's above the y-axis. So that's going to be for values of x that are less than a third or greater than 1. And so these are my values for my increasing function. Now the second question here has the same function, but we want to know when it is decreasing. So we want to know where 3x minus 1 multiplied by x minus 1 is less than 0. So I can refer back to this sketch. So less than a third, it was an increasing function. Greater than 1, it was an increasing function. So it must be between 1 and a third where it's decreasing, because that's where the gradient is negative. So I can write that as a single inequality. So negative a third is less than x is less than 1. Now I've got to make sure that it's not less than or equal to 1 here, because 1 would have a gradient of 0, and so therefore is not going to be negative.